guys, it's Jam here and welcome to another deck profile with the new and improved Subterrors. The new build, because it's got all the Invasion of Vengeance stuff like the Archer and stuff, and the two new Behemoths along with other stuff. I've also changed the engine of the Brilliant Fusion engine. If you haven't seen the previous build, it was running the Brilliant Fusion, Trick Clown, etc. engine. But I've dropped that to make room for a much smaller engine, and also it's less bricky because if you draw Garnet in the old engine, you can probably lose the game because you draw Brilliant Fusions and they're dead. So we kept the Geargia engine because it's just really nice, and it just works together with the Subterrors. I prefer it over the Prediction Princess engine, which is slightly less, which is slightly better like on your opponent's turn, but on your turn this is more aggressive, and also if your opponent doesn't clear the Geargias, you can just keep on plussing and stuff because Geargia armor just gives you cards and all of that. So without any further ado, let's go and start the deck profile. Let's start off with the Subterrors. 3 archers, the new Subterror Nemesis. It's got a good effect where you shuffle a face down monster if you attack if you've got another Subterror, so that also already combos with the new card Ultramafus or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Also, when you destroy her, you can spec summon a Subterror from your deck. Nicely enough, they kept the face up clause, so most of the time I summon in face up, and if it's your turn, that when you crash into it, and then you can use the Subterror monster's effect. For example, let's use the new one, Stygokraken. You can summon in face up, use it to go face down, because you won't have any monsters at that point. Most of the time, you can spec summon another one from your hand, another Subterror Behemoth, which is nice. So that's nice and handy, but on your opponent's turn, if your opponent kills it, you special summon it in face down, so you can usually summon a defensive one like Umistrix, so it works out quite well. You can maybe drop her to 2 if you want to make room. This deck does run more than 40 cards, mainly because I also run Pot Desires, and I want to maximize the amount of chance I see her at least once in the game, because you can use her most of the time. And also very handy with Stalagmo. If you have more Subterror monsters in your hand, it's more likely Stalagmo's live, so you can discard it and draw 2 cards, so it's pretty good. Next up, we've got another Subterror Nemesis, Triple Warrior, still the best card in the deck after the field spell Hidden City. During player's turn, you can summon a Subterror by attributing stuff, and you can now special summon him using Invoker in this new engine I'm playing, which is the Speedrun engine, if you haven't already figured it out. And also, this lets you play around strike, so if you flip summon this, any Subterror Behemoth monster, you got a Nemesis Warrior in the grave, or you can just play around strike by using that Channeling 1, Channeling 2, and then that's just so good because it lets you play around so much stuff. And Stygokraken comboed with this, it's just devastating your opponent plays back row because they can't stop this from going off with Solemn Strike. Only Phoenix Chain and stuff stops it, and not many people play Phoenix Chain nowadays for some reason. 3 of this is still needed, and also nice to get it in super rare. I don't know if you guys in the US can get it in super rare, but in Europe we can order it in super rare, so if you want high rarity Nemesis Warrior, order it from here. It looks quite nice. Some of you been saying that in the comments. For the Subterror Behemoths, let's start off with one of the new ones. Only one Ultramafus. Main reason is because it's level 12, very difficult to summon with Nemesis Warrior. Most of the time you summon it with the Archer when it gets destroyed. And also it's got the biggest attack, but the worst thing about it is the stat is not big in defense, and also most of the time Subterror Behemoths are in defense position, so most of the time if it's your opponent's turn, it just dies and you just pick up Eclipse as monsters usually, and your opponent doesn't really mind that too much because he runs over your biggest monster basically. So nice thing to do about this is use it as an offensive tool, as you can combo with the new Subterrors. Like Archer, she can flip. When you flip all the things face down, flip her up or summon her, then you can shuffle back the face down monsters without destroying it and even flipping it in the first place. Also combos with the new Behemoth Stygokraken, where it will pop all the face down cards your opponent controls. So that includes monsters and back row. So combos with each other. Just one Ultramafus because it's really hard to summon it. The only time you can really summon it with the Nemesis Warrior if you tribute the Stalagmo, or you have to commit 3 monsters to summon it. So only one, and you can usually summon it from your hand anyway using Geargia's effect and then flip it face down, for example. Next up, we've got 2 Stygokrakens. I think that's how you pronounce it. Stygokraken. Yeah, that's quite easy to pronounce. 2 of that one. This one pops face downs, very very good. It's also got second highest defense, so if your opponent, I find that my opponent finds it hard to get around the 2/6 defense because a lot of monsters in the extra deck have 2/5 like Utopia and stuff, so they'll be forced to use lightning to get around it, which is quite nice. Also level 5, so it's pretty much one of the main ones you summon with the Nemesis Warrior because it's quite a low level one. You can even tribute level 1s, which are going to do that. You can do that. Or you can tribute summon for it. Sometimes I do tribute summon for it if it's just like Vanty's Emptiness on board, and you can out it easily with this now, while flipping it and destroying all your opponent's face down and turning off Vanty's Emptiness. So only 2 Stygokrakens, because not many deck plays back row, and you don't really pull off that combo with this Ultramafus most of the time. But if you do, it's quite nice. So 2 of that. And for the rest of them, the 2 old ones, 2 Stalagmo, dropped it to 2 now because we have got to make room for other Subterrors. We don't really like bricking with too many of them. It's just good opening Geargia armor in the field spell, do your combos, draw 2 if you've got Subterrors. Now it's a bit better because we now have more Subterror monsters in existence, so you can have more targets to pitch with this, so it's more live most of the time. And last but not least, we've got 3 Omistrix, still the best Subterror Behemoth. The best defensive one, because they can just banish your opponent's monster. And then you can use its 2k attack, pretty good. 3 of this is also the easiest one to summon because it's level 7, and I only run level 3s and level 4s that you can normal summon in this deck, so Nemesis Warrior usually summons this most of the time. We want to play 3 as well because of Desires. We want to banish 2 of it and you still have 1 target, for example, so play 3 of this guy. To the Geargia engine, it's still the same. 3 armor, 3 arsenal, and 1 accelerator. So pretty standard stuff. I think I've explained it in the previous deck profile from, I think it's last month, where you just distribute this, summon this, set a Geargia, sit the Behemoths from your hand in face up defense, then flip them. They're all face down now, and then summon all of them. So it's basically main on brick, and it's also very good as it gives you access to the rank 4 engine, which is very good defensively and offensively. 7 card engine. I prefer this over the Prediction Princess engine because it's less bricky. And the new engine, instead of the Brilliant Fusion engine, of course, is the Terror Top engine for rank 3 access, mainly because Invoker is a card, and what pushed me to switch to this engine is because Archer is a card now. So you can use, on your second turn, you can use into Breaksword, targeting this. After you set it, you can destroy this and destroy another card, and then that lets you summon a Subterror Nemesis from your deck. And also turn 1 you can go into Invoker to summon your Nemesis Warrior, and it doesn't need to normal summon at all, so it's quite nice. And also it's a smaller engine. I just needed room for another engine, so I took the Brilliant Fusion engine out to use this one instead. So 3 Terratops and 1 Takatonberg. The only bad thing about this engine is if you draw Takatonberg too early or like turn 1, it's just really dead. And or if you draw a Terratop and your Takatonberg's been banished by Pot of Desires, for example, and that's the only problem with it. But it's you need to open the engine most games, and it will accelerate your deck very quickly. Considering it's a flip summon based deck, it's very slow, but the engines running it accelerates it. So let's go to the spells. Play quite a lot of them actually, now that we've got more importance to the field spell. 3 field spell and 3 terraforming, of course. Pretty standard bread and butter part of the deck. You have to run 3 of the field spell and 3 terraforming, because I've opted from 2 from last time I believe, so 3 now. If you want to see it as soon as possible, and also we play Desires, so that's why I play 3 of each of these. And considering Pot of Desires we play 2, I've only got 2, but if you want to play 3 because you want to see it every game, but I only want to resolve it once per game anyway, so play 2 of Pot of Desires. Of course it's 3+1. If you don't like playing this card, or it's too expensive for you to afford, you can just drop the card, because this is actually a more than 40 card deck, so if you don't want to run it, don't run it then. It's up to you. 2 Instant Fusion, because you can get Northern, or the other option is Panzer Dragon to destroy back row, or monsters that use like Floodgates and stuff like Skill Drain, just easy access. And Reasoning. Most of the time your opponent will call 4, which is okay, because that means you can sometimes mill Nemesis Warrior, but if your opponent calls it wrong, you get a free summon, and it's nice if you get Terratop summon, you get Takatonberg, which is pretty funny, or Nemesis Archer even. Make sure you use this card in this build, time it properly, so you summon your monsters first from your hand using Geargia Armor Engine, and then use Reasoning afterwards. And one Gallic Cyclone, so you can replace this with MST or Twin Twisters. I just like it to out certain cards like Fancy Sentinels, and I prefer banishing Pendulum Scales and Back Row, but I do pay 1,000 to do it though. So, and last but not least, because I don't have Dimension Barriers, I do have one, but I don't have multiples. I'm playing this funny pick. It's called Rebellion from the Millennium Pack, same ones with card demise. Basically in the battle phase, it lets you take a monster your opponent controls and the rest of the monsters can't attack. So why do I play this? It's because of the Subterror Nemesis Warrior. If your opponent controls a monster with the level that's more than 1, you can basically do it now. Because if your opponent runs a level 1 monster, you can use it to tribute for Stygokraken. Using Nemesis Warrior, you can use this in the battle phase, and it's also a quick play, so you can attack with the Nemesis Warrior, use Rebellion on your battle phase, and then attack with a monster you took, maybe, if you want to, and then tribute the 2 of them, and then summon a Subterror from your deck. And you can also set it and then use it in your opponent's turn if you have a Subterror Nemesis Warrior, and then when they try to kill you, you can just flip it, take the monster, and tribute it off, so it's quite nice doing it. The only drawback of this card is that it's in the battle phase, so if your opponent pops it in the main phase, it doesn't do anything. And also, it doesn't work on XYZ monsters, unfortunately, because Nemesis Warrior doesn't tribute XYZ monsters because it's got no levels. And but you can stake XYZ monsters to play defensively, but just 2 Rebellions. When I get a whole Dimension Barrier, I can probably drop this for more Dimension Barriers and maybe another Trap card, for example. And then I go to Trap cards. Don't play that many. 1 Dim Barrier, I've only got 1 at the moment, so I would play 2, drop 1 of the Rebellion, and maybe for another trap card for the other Rebellion, but just 1 is so good if you open it. It's like a mini Vanity's Emptiness, and one Vanity's Emptiness as well, along with that. It's obvious. 1 strike, 2 strikes, and 1 warning. Strike Engine is pretty obvious, and for the Rafflesia, because you play rank 4s, it's so easy to summon it, you play the 2 strongest trap holes. Probably the other trap that I'll replace the Rebellion with is another Floodgate, because sometimes you banish with desires to one of the Floodgates and Bottomless, so you won't have a 3rd target for Rafflesia to make it live at least. So that's all the changes I would probably make later on if I get hold of the right cards. Let's go to the extra deck. So I've explained already, Invoker and Breaksword. Invoker turn 1 with the Terratop, Breaksword turn 2 with the Terratop. If you got the Archer, it combos quite nicely. 1 Grand Pulse just to pop Back Row, because of course we only run 1 Galaxy Cyclone to pop Back Row. We want more cards from Back Row in the extra deck. That's all the rank 3s. Let's go to the rank 4s. The Utopia lineup, just Prime, Lightning, pretty obvious, because it takes a lot of room. This is quite good because it's like the new Exciting Knight for TCG. 1 Feral Imp to search Stalagmo, to search targets for Stalagmo, perhaps. And that's going to be Umistrix, just search it because you can rank 4 quite easily with this deck. 1 Castel, staple, then 1 Dweller, another staple. And 1 funny rank 4 like playing is Gaga Samurai. You could probably replace this with something else, but I like OTKing because Yugioh's got 1/1 attack and usually spec the accelerator in defense position, so you can convert that 1/1 damage into 3/8 damage using this card, and turn 2 you can usually OTK if you play Samurai in this deck, because you have all the Subterrors that you've summoned turn 1 with the Geargia armor. If you don't like running it, you can maybe run a Steel Swarm Roach, which is good against ABCs, and a bunch of other synchro decks. Emerald, very very useful as well because there's a wind, so you can spec Tacton Plug, use it for rank 3s with the Archer, and then use Emerald once again to recycle the Tacton Plug if you got another Terratop. So it's quite nice for the draws, and it's just pretty good because it just recycles stuff for you, and you usually go into it because you can rank 4 easily. Rhapsody Berserk because ABCs are running around, and also Light Swans in Scrub League, which Scrub League is where I'll play this at, and Light Swans that run JD, not the rank 4 spam. Some Light Swans play and then they just want to banish their Light Swans in the grave using a rank 4. Using Rhapsody, and 1 Rafflesia of course for the bombs and stuff, and this is the best defensive rank 4, that's easy to make in general. And for the instant fusion targets we've got Northern and Panzer Dragon, and this one's a bit damaged, I need to replace that one. Something's chewed onto that. Northern, it might get banned now because Rare Fishes are being announced, but it's still good because you can bring back targets for Nemesis Warrior. Don't forget the effect of it. If you tribute that, you banish the monster, so you have to tribute the monster that you summon and then overlay it with this one for rank 4s basically. Rise of Dragon, because pop back right at the end phase, because sometimes it does pop up. And it's also level 5, so you can tribute that off with Nemesis Warrior. That's alright. So yeah, that's about it for the Subterror deck profile. What do you think? Any suggestions? Any other tech cards maybe try out? I really like the Rebellion card, because... Right, so it's Jam here. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.